Hey, what's up, everybody? Here we go again, episode 60 at face value. I'm Brian.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Will.
Super pumped to have you back again for another week. We are rolling through week one officially of college football. It's not over yet. Currently watching Notre Dame and Miami in a 7-7 game. And then tomorrow we got UNC and TCU. So week one is officially underway, though. So some exciting games, some letdowns, a lot of things to talk about, though. So. This would be a good episode, but let's get rolling into it. So we got our hugs and hikes first. So Lucas, you got a hug?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a hug. I'm sure probably was a similar one to from everybody. But Lee Corso went
Hmm.
out last headgear pick. It was awesome scenes. He actually did really well on his picks as well. If y'all saw that,
He
I
did.
think the last one he has left is Miami over Notre Dame. So we'll see if he goes 6 for 6. But big shout out to Lee Corso. Obviously, that's our childhood. It's kind of crazy that it's coming to an end, but it was time, like we'd said. Um, but him to go out like that was a pretty cool scene. Um, and then I'm gonna give one more hug. I'm gonna give a hug to Brian Kelly. Finally got over the hump of the
Yep.
opener. Everybody gave him so much crap. He can't win an opener. He can't do it. Well, he did it. Went on the road, hostile environment, uh, beat a really good Clemson team. That was a out of all the openers that LSU has played over the last 3 4 years that he's been there. This is by far the most difficult game that they've had to play, and they came out on top. So, just a little hug to Brian Kelly, proving the haters wrong a little bit. So,
There you go.
what
Yeah, I
y'all
like
got?
the Lee Corso stuff, though. All
Yeah,
just going through and just seeing, just going all the nostalgia going back, talking about his coaching career, his broadcasting career, or his commentary career, just everything. So it was just super cool just to look back over the last 30 years and coming back to his one true love or his first love as his last game. So it was cool to see.
yeah,
Yeah, for as many things as ESPN has screwed up recently, I think, at least with this one, I think they got it right. They did a pretty good job honoring
yeah.
him.
They don't get a
I
hug, but we can give them one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll give him credit for something for once.
Um, I never really thought about it in this light either. They did an interview with Sark, kind of about Lee Corso at the beginning of pregame and stuff, and I never thought about it, but he made a really good point that he kind of is a big part of kind of the obviously everybody knows college game day, the headgear picks, everything, but uh, the TV deals and things that are being paid to conferences, to schools, to all that stuff. Lee Corso is a big part of that. Like it's the environment,
Hmm.
it's the pageantry, it's everything. And I never really thought about that. How um, it became a very watchable and very intriguing event with college football. I mean, it was before, but I feel like college game day. Everybody wakes up in the morning, gets ready, gets pumped, and that's a big part of all the money going into it. I never really thought about it that way, but
Hmm.
shout out to Sark for talking about that too. It's a very solid point.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. When college game day started, they said it on the special they did on the Not So Fast, my friend, that it started as a 30-minute little deal, and now it's a 3-hour show.
Yep,
And you
three
don't
hours.
get to that point if you don't have viewership and engagement and people wanting more of that type of content. And to your point and to Sark's point, that's almost solely on the shoulders of Lee Corso.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of crazy seeing their very first game day '96. It's just like in their studio, and it's just him, Chris Fowler, and I think Craig James was the third one. It's just like the three of them just sitting talking in the studio. I was like, man, that's wild to think, but
And just wild seeing Kirk Herbstreit that young. Like he looked like a kid, dude. He looked like a
yeah,
kid.
he did. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It's funny to see how far we've come. So, what
yeah.
about you, Will?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my hug to Tommy Cast I can't say his last name without
Castellanos.
stuttering.
Castellanos.
So somebody, yeah, thank you guys, because I'll just stutter my life away trying to get that name out. I'm gonna give a hug to him because I gave him a lot of crap, gave Florida State a lot of crap, saying that, man, if y'all are gonna roll with the guy that got benched at Boston College, this could be a rough season for Florida State. Could not have been more wrong. He didn't light up the scoreboard as far as numbers go, but did a great job managing that game, managing that offense, and they just absolutely beat Florida State and pretty much, I mean, beat Alabama in almost every facet of the game.
Right.
And the play at quarterback, the RPOs and everything, the just an unbelievable job managing that offense. And Florida State all of a sudden finds himself, I think, right back in the ACC race. So give a hug to him for doing what he did, balling out after not just us, but a lot of people around the country were doubting him and Florida State. So
Well, and it just shows you like the system, like the difference that it makes. Because I mean, like we were talking about right before the podcast, like Jackson Arnold, like looked like a different player playing for Auburn yesterday. So it's just if you get in the right, and they even said the broadcast yesterday, they're like Tommy Castellanos, like he wasn't the most touted prospect in the trade or in the transfer portal, but if you just get him in that right system and just get him going, like it just makes that much of a difference. And I mean, he rolled with it. Like I mean, he started with the confidence of saying they don't have saving to save him this year, and he backed it up a
Yeah.
100%. So that was crazy
Yeah.
to see. So,
For sure.
well, I'd like to give a hug to Cowboys fans. We can finally move on from Micah Parsons. And not that we'll actually move on because there'll probably be a headline every single week. But at least we can finally move on from the whole are we gonna trade him, are we gonna sign him ordeal and just move on and probably watch some bad football this year. But I'll take a hug. I'll give myself a hug for that.
I like it.
Yeah. What about a hike, Lucas?
I got three of them actually.
Oh
wow.
man.
So my first hike, it's all kind of lighthearted stuff, kind of. But my first hike is NCAA football, the video game. They can take a hike for propping up and giving Alabama the highest ranked defense on the game.
Hmm.
Um, so they made us all believe that Alabama was this juggernaut defensive team, while Tommy Castellanos and the Florida State offense rushed for 239 yards on that defense. Just wild. 350 total yards of offense. Like, no,
Yep.
that NCAA can take a hike for their talent evaluation. Um, my second
Agreed.
hike is the NCAA. I'd like to tell the NCAA to take a hike again for the whole AJ Halsey situation. So, if for those
Oh yeah.
wondering, AJ Halsey, LSU's transfer safety, came in from Houston. The last game of the season against BYU, he got ejected on the official game stat sheet. It was he got tossed for unsportsmanlike conduct. They retroactively said it was for fighting, sent a letter to the University of Houston, didn't tell AJ Halsey, and the University of Houston didn't tell him either. So he transfers to LSU, has no idea. The NCAA also doesn't tell LSU, and so Houston tells Clemson that this guy's ineligible for the first half of the game. And so Clemson
What?
then feeds the information to a random Twitter account who did a lot of research and was just watching BYU Houston, a great game last year. Just happened to be watching it, and so LSU found out 2 days before the game that he was going to be ineligible for the first half. So that whole situation, just the NCAA can take a hike for not being transparent about what went down. Clemson can also take a hike for playing their cards like they did. At least they said it, because I mean, who knows what would have happened if you would have played the first half? Like, would this game just be over? Like, would they have to forfeit the game? Possibly, which is wild. So,
It is crazy
yeah,
to think about like how the NCAA would have handled that if like it had never been brought up. And then
yeah, I
all
don't
of a
know.
sudden Clemson loses the game and then they find out, oh, this guy wasn't supposed to play the first half. And then they come back and then yeah, oh my gosh, dude, there's no telling what the NCAA would do at that point.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man.
that was an unbelievable catch if y'all are watching.
I did see that. That
Yes.
was
Yes.
insane.
Crazy. Crazy.
Oh man. What about you, Will?
Was that two or three? I thought you had three, Lucas.
Well, it was the NCAA and Clemson. They were
Yeah,
both
he
Okay,
tied
together.
Clemson
okay,
into it, so
okay. Mine goes along with what you were saying about Alabama. Anybody who still thinks Alabama is the same Alabama without Nick Saban can take a hike. People who are still trying to say like they're going to be okay, DeBoer's going to keep this thing rolling. You can take a hike. This team is not the same. Alabama is an average SEC school at this point, and things could. I am scared to see the things that Alabama fans are going to try to make up to get Kalen DeBoer fired. They are going to come up with some crazy, crazy stuff. Because you remember what Auburn fans did a couple years ago with their coach, made up the whole affair thing to get him fired. There's no
hmm
telling what fans in Tuscaloosa are going to come up to get Kalen DeBoer out of town if he doesn't right this ship now.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting.
Um,
I'm gonna tell Cleveland Browns fans to take a hike. So I read this story where so Shadur Sanders struggled the entire preseason, didn't have great stats, ended up getting hurt, all this stuff. So they end up naming Joe Flacco the starter. And so Cleveland Brown fans and Shadur Sanders fans in general started claiming that the Browns are not starting Shadur Sanders because of systemic racism, and that Freddie Kitchens is a racist, the Browns are racist, and that's why they refuse to start Shadur Sanders. So just an absolutely absurd take for a professional team to claim something like that, and it just blew my mind when I read it. I could not believe it. Like it's just the things that people will make up just because they're upset that their guy isn't starting for a team. So anyway, I just when I read that story, I was like, that is unbelievable. But so yeah, so Cleveland Browns fans, they're already down the dumps, but they can take a hike. So
yeah. Mm, mm,
and
mm.
also not a hike, but Arch Manning fans can take it easy now because Arch Manning is not what we thought, or is not what people thought he was going to be coming out the gates. Not to say he can't be that eventually, but we can
I
hopefully
mean,
finally take it easy.
when the expectations are so high, like you're like you have to have some sort of leeway with a guy who's making his first major road start. Like
Yeah.
that's like he exactly what you said. He might turn it around and be phenomenal. It absolutely can happen. But from what we saw yesterday, I mean, he's just not there yet, and that's okay. But
And I
God,
mean, and just for me, like the whole thing, like him being the preseason Heisman, completely unwarranted. Him being the preseason projected #1 overall pick next year, completely unwarranted. Honestly, with the amount that Texas lost, them being ranked #1 in the nation was undeserved. I mean, I know it was apparently a hot take from us, but with everything that Penn State had coming back this year, I don't see any reason why they're not ranked #1. I know that rankings don't really mean a whole lot in the beginning of the season, but there was just so much hype around Texas, and most of it was focused because Arch Manning's finally taken over the reins. And so it just the whole situation to me, it's unfair to Arch because like at least he's been humble about the whole thing. Like he's never gone out and said like, that he's the greatest, whatever, like some other highly talented prospects have done. But just to throw him in there and say like you better be one of the greatest players to ever play college football, like that's just crazy to expect that coming out the gate, especially going to Columbus, Ohio right off the bat. So I don't know.
one of the things too, it just kind of validates Sark a little bit too for starting Ewers. Like again, he sees both of them every day in practice. There had to be something to say we're going to go with the best guy, and the best guy was Quinn at that time. And experience matters. I think that can't be understated. I've said it on here a million times, but
hmm
experience matters a lot. And you could tell he was getting happy feet in the pocket. He was doing some really weird release, like he was kind of side arming. Like
Yeah.
you could tell his mechanics were off, and I think it was because he was flustered, and that's gonna happen. But again, just you got to tamper expectations a little bit with a first year starter on a team with way higher expectations than most programs.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we talked about last week too. Texas offensive line inexperienced, and I mean, he was having trouble just staying in the pocket, making plays happen. I give a lot of credit too to Ohio State secondary. I felt like Texas receivers really weren't getting open, so I don't blame a lot completely on him because I mean, I felt like he didn't have a lot of openings to throw in general, but I do feel like, I feel like people thought that he could just put that game on his shoulders and win it, and that wasn't something that was going to happen.
I'd like to go back and watch that film because when I was watching live, it seemed very much like too that he wasn't going through progressions at all either.
Hmm.
He had one target and that's where he was going. Because
Yep.
there were multiple times as well that there was the wide receiver open across the middle and he would just look to the flat. And he was
Yep.
just kind of looking in one direction the entire time. Which again, with experience, that's probably a lot different.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so luckily their schedule's relatively light. I mean, I know they go to Georgia, they go to Florida, and then they have OU. But after that, I mean, if they split those games or win three out of the four, I mean, they're a playoff team again. So
Yeah, absolutely.
there's still a lot of football left
Well, and
for
there's
them to
still
make the
quite a
playoff.
quite a bit until he even has any of those matchups. Like really,
Yeah,
his next big time matchup isn't until they play Oklahoma in October.
is that
So
their
he's
next
got
big
time.
game?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I know he has conference games before then, but I mean, I think because I don't think they played Georgia or Florida before they play.
They
Yeah,
do
they play Florida, but he's got San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston to
figure it out.
build up before then. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so
go
they got
to
Florida and
Florida.
Oklahoma back to back.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's tough.
he's got three cupcakes and a bye week to get ready for Florida. So he's got some
Most,
time to work on all these issues.
yeah, he also had cupcakes last year too and did really good.
It's fair. That is
Yeah,
fair.
he did. Oh man,
Um,
y'all want to go NFL first? Or y'all just want to get into it?
yeah, let's go NFL.
Well, the regular season's starting this week, so I kind of let it off with my hike here. But the big news, obviously, across the NFL right now is that the Cowboys have officially traded Micah Parsons. Got two first round picks and a defensive tackle out of it. And then Parsons immediately turns around, signs a 4 year, $188 million contract, up to 136 guaranteed. And so when he said he wanted to be the highest paid player, he was not lying because the previous
Hey,
highest non-quarterback was TJ Watt, 3 years, getting 41 million a year, and now he's getting $47 million a year, which if that's what he was asking for the Cowboys, then I am 100% glad that they did not sign him because that would have been absolutely ridiculous to sign a guy like that when you have so many holes and so many weaknesses. I mean, the defensive tackle they got, I think, is actually going to help with the run game, which has been one of the biggest things that they've had trouble with over the past several years. So, I mean, people are knocking Jerry because he said we can get two Pro Bowlers out of what we got from him. But I mean, I think honestly, like if you get two Pro Bowlers, even if they're not like a pass rushing presence like he is, I mean, I think it still benefits you. I mean, and you're not investing all this money into one player because now if you pay Parsons $47 million a year, that means you're paying $110 million out of your 200 plus million dollar salary cap on two players. So half your salary cap is on two players alone. So
Yeah,
there's no way like Cowboys fans can be upset if they want about losing Parsons, but logistically, like this was the best option for them to take if they want to be like legitimate at any point. Because I mean, if you take that now, I mean, you're looking at turning into the Saints at some point where you're just in salary hell and then you're just bad. So I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with it for sure.
The whole
I,
the whole saga just needed to come to a conclusion. I mean, either sign him or trade him. I'm just glad it's over because it looked ugly. And if y'all would have spent even what Jerry supposedly offered him, did he really want to be there? How motivated would he have been? All that kind of stuff. So this is probably best case scenario. And I don't know. I also think it seems like every time these big guys sign one of these contracts, the injuries just start to kind of fester or pile up. Like
Hmm.
maybe not like but like they just seem to just have these nagging type injuries. Now he's a little bit younger. He's still only what 26, so m-
26.
yeah,
yeah, so maybe not quite, but I don't know. To me, it just seems like, especially on the defensive side, and he's already had an injury history, so
Hmm.
it's a big gamble. I like it for Green Bay. I mean, this is an all-in move for Green Bay, but they have a young quarterback. They have some, they have a pretty good team. They're in a really tough division, but this definitely moved Green Bay up on the higher hierarchy for me.
How tough a division do you think they're in? Because I mean, for me, like
the
I
Lions are
don't.
the
I
cream
mean,
of the crop.
I was gonna say like I don't see the Bears being that much better this year, and I think the Vikings are gonna take a big fall off because I mean, I don't trust JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean,
I still think it's better than most divisions for sure.
like
Well, yeah,
the Bears are
It's
improved, the
yeah,
Lions are good, and yes, the quarterback play for the Vikings we'll see, but the Vikings had a really good defense.
that's true.
So when you go top to bottom and you break down all the divisions, um, I mean, there's gonna be people that have been arguing that every team in that division could make the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
there's enough talent there. Now that'd be a bit of a stretch. That'd be a bit of a stretch for the Bears to me. Be an amazing accomplishment in year one under Johnson, but uh,
Hmm.
yeah, I still think it's one of the tougher divisions in football.
it's going to come down to Caleb Williams for the Bears for sure. How he
Yeah.
can bounce
100%.
back on his second year. I mean, he didn't have an awful first year, honestly. Like I feel like people were giving him a little bit of crap. He started off pretty slow, but if you look stats wise, it wasn't awful. Like there was a lot worse quarterback play down in New Orleans for sure.
And there will be this year too.
Yes, guaranteed.
But I know a lot of it too, like with Caleb Williams, is like their offensive line is not very good. And so
Yeah,
it like that plays into it as well. And so and you see that in a lot of places where, I mean, it's the same for Bryce Young. It's like I haven't been impressed with Bryce Young. He played better at the end of the year last year, but also he's playing with probably the worst offensive line in the NFL right now. So it's like, yes, he could play better, but also if you're running for your life half the time, how good are you really?
yeah, it's true.
So
I
we'll
did
see.
see
But
that
yeah,
the Cowboys re-signed their one of their corners too, right?
yeah,
Bland,
Deron Bland, yeah, he was actually a 6th round pick that they got three,
Damn,
4 years ago. He's actually
93
been their
million.
most consistent cornerback, honestly. Like going to Will's point where you're talking about signing these big contracts and then getting injured. That's exactly what Trevon Diggs has been ever since he signed his
immediately.
big contract. Like he's been out a lot more than he's been in. So Deron Bland, if he can stay healthy, I mean, I think
Didn't
he's
Bland also
honest.
miss a ton of time last year though?
Yeah, he did. So that's the thing is like there's just so many injuries right now. It's nonstop, and so he'll probably miss more time this year now. And so,
Yeah.
but honestly, I've been more impressed with him than Trevon Diggs. I mean, Trevon Diggs got a lot of that hype because he had all the interceptions that one year, but he also played some horrible coverage. Like the year he had the most interceptions in the league, he also gave up the most yards for any cornerback in the league. So he's kind of like a feast or famine type of guy. But
Yeah, I think he was just
uh,
taking a lot of risk,
yeah,
going for the INTs and getting beat.
yeah,
So that kind of hurt those numbers.
yeah. So we'll see. Starting off with the Eagles on Thursday night, which I'm super excited about. Exactly how I want to end my week is playing the defending Super Bowl champions. So
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I mean, big sports fans and everything, this is probably the least tuned into the NFL I've been probably in my life. Like I'm so much more in on college football. Like the NFL starting Thursday does nothing for me. I'm
Hmm.
not even remotely locked in or really. In years past, I've been very dialed in, but I'm kind of like, yeah, it's whatever.
Dude, come join the dark side, man.
Yeah. I mean, like outside of the Texans, like I'm really not dialed in at all.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know why. This year for me has been the year. Normally I'm kind of half and half, but yeah, way more just kind of over the NFL.
Well, and
I
like
feel like
the
the pro.
Texans too. I mean, they should roll through the division, I would think. I mean, I don't see
Yeah.
anywhere where, like, especially with the Colts naming Daniel Jones their starting quarterback. Like, I thought that was insane. You drafted dude number 5 overall 2 years ago, and you've already given up on him. Like that just shows you what kind of
Yeah,
state that the Colts are in.
Anthony Richardson he's a classic NFL guys salivating at potential and always thinking that they're going to be the guy to get that potential out of them. And that happens
Yeah.
a lot. That you know, I'll be the one to fix him. I'll be the one to tap into all that. And more times than not, it just never pans out. Like
But it
there's something not right up here with him. Like there was a play like in that preseason game where he dislocated his pinky. Like not knowing that that side's open and that the rush is coming from there is like freshman year high school stuff. And
Yeah.
he just had no idea what the protection package was, and that he had to get that ball out quick. Just completely blindsided. Like that's very concerning to
Giving
be in year
Jamarcus Russell
three.
vibes.
Yeah, to be in year three and you still don't understand pass protection. So not really
Well,
surprised they went with Jones.
the play where he tapped himself out after a quarterback
Yeah,
run, that's where I was like, oh my gosh, dude.
I've
Just
never seen it.
unheard of.
Never once ever seen it.
Well, I don't know if we talked about it on here. We might have, we're like, we talked about his stats, like even go back to high school. Like he had like average stats as a high school player, losing record. Went to Florida, average stats, losing record. Like it's kind of going to your point where it's just potential. Like he's just this big dude with this huge arm. And it's just like, oh yeah, if we can just get him right, like he can be elite. And then going, whatever he's drafted, I think it was top 10. I mean, it was insane. Just thinking
It was
about,
super high. It was three, 4, or 5.
I think it was 5, yeah. So it's just like him going like that, just based on pure potential, and it's already played out to see what that means. But just shows you that's what people go off of now. It's just it's not how you are, it's your intangibles. Like what can we work with to make you a better player?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was
But
4.
yeah,
He was fourth
it's
overall.
4.
4, yeah, man. Even
Mm,
worse.
yeah.
So I remember that was like a big surprise too when he went that high. Because I don't think he was really even that impressive in like his pro day and all that. But
Again, just
I
a
don't know.
pure case of we're going to be able to tap into that potential.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just pro scout salivating.
Just fail. All right, let's roll in some college football.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's get into the meat of this
That's
stuff, boys.
that's what we're here
What?
for.
That's right. Well, we started talking about it, and we'll just keep rolling into it. So, starting off our Saturday was the Texas and Ohio State game. Ended up kind of a dud. Arch Manning struggled. Saying, I mean, he did what he needed to do. Didn't look overly impressive, but didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he just did what he had to. I mean, really, just a defensive battle is what it turned into. Just a matter of momentum, and Ohio State scores their first touchdown on two big mistakes, two big penalties by Texas. Um, and then obviously them scoring late with I think it was 6.5 minutes left just to make it a one touchdown game. And then having the opportunity, I think what was it, like 3 minutes left, and
Yeah.
then just not able to score. Just I don't know. It just
Two
neither.
bad passes.
I was gonna say, yeah, like neither
Two very
quarterback
bad
looked really.
passes.
Yeah, I mean, it was just overall, it was just very underwhelming for a number one, number three, or number one, number two, depending on what poll you look. It's just not what people were expecting it to be at all.
I mean, I think overall, I want to say Texas outgained them
Yeah, by
offensively, but
120 yards.
yeah. So, and again, I think the big point too is red zone offense. Like Texas, for some reason, this has been kind of Sark's thing the past 3 years at Texas. They get down into the 25 and they can't punch a ball in, and it's been haunting them since the Washington game in the playoffs 2 years ago.
Red zone and
Um,
fourth downs, those have been the two big.
yeah, it's just something about it. Defensively though, Texas looked phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Um, Ohio State looked pretty good too defensively. I mean, you got to give them credit as well.
Absolutely.
Um, you got to give them credit. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Arch couldn't make it happen," but you got to give
There's a
Ohio State's
reason.
defense. Yeah, you got to give Ohio State's defense some credit too. Um, I'm sure they schemed up a game plan to kind of keep him confused, keep him, give him some happy feet in the pocket kind of thing. And I mean, you got to give that Ohio State defense some credit too. Arch didn't look good. The throws that he was making, they weren't on time. He was missing slants at the beginning of the game. Um, Talking about that fourth down at the end of the game. I mean, on third down, if he puts that ball at the guy's chest, that's a first down, and you're not even having to attempt a fourth down, right? And
Right.
so just little things like that can change the whole ball game. But again, I think it's a combination of both. Good defensive play on Ohio State, a little bit of inexperience, and small little fine details that need to be ironed out for Arch.
Yeah. Because I think
Yeah.
Texas, they were fairly successful on the ground, but
Yeah,
then once they realized that Arch wasn't able to really throw the ball, they focused on the run, and that's
yeah,
when it changed things for him. I saw one stat where they said he was 37% off target, which is the highest
yeah,
percentage of any Texas quarterback in 10 years.
yeah.
So, I mean, that alone, but yeah, but definitely Ohio State's defense is definitely good. And I just it's not a whole lot to say about their offense though either. I mean, Jeremiah Smith
No,
was not held to very much at all, which exactly what they did in the semifinal game too. But
I mean, I think Smith had like 5 receptions, but he also had two really bad drops.
hmm
Like, and I'm not talking like tough balls to catch. They were right in his hands. Like he just
yep.
dropped them. And so you got to think about it too. First game of the season as well. It's the cliche thing where teams make their best improvements from week one to week two, and that's so. I'm sure, especially offensively, getting the offensive line to gel, all that stuff. Give it some time, and Texas is going to be fine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No, yeah,
Uh,
I agree with that. I think Texas is fine. Um, if you ever want to buy somebody's stock right now, this is the cheapest you'll ever get Arch Manning stock. So buy it, buy it all up 'cause
yeah.
he'll come back from it. But my biggest takeaway was how impressive Ohio State's defense looked because
hmm
Yeah.
they had to replace 8 players on that defense off of
Hmm.
probably the best defense in the country, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's a lot of changes, a lot of new faces." They're immediately right back to being one of the best defenses in the country. And yeah, you can fault Arch. One of y'all alluded to it earlier. You can fault Arch for the bad throws, but the secondary was so locked in on all those receivers. They were getting zero separation.
hmm
I mean, even the touchdown throw was just a good throw and catch. It wasn't like he was
Right.
wide open or anything. And
hmm
then the throw on the sideline, pretty much the only 2 throws that Arch made. Again,
Beautiful throw.
I think if the safety looks up because the ball floated a bit, I think if the safety's looking at the ball and not at the receiver, he might be able to make a play on the ball. So
hmm
again, he fit that right into a perfect hole there. So
Yeah.
they just had they just had everybody locked down so much. In my opinion, they were, Arch didn't have a ton of time in the pocket either. I think they dominated the line of scrimmage as far as the pass protection. Now, Texas did have some success on the ground, but they were really the tackles were getting outmanned almost every play
Oh
by
yeah.
Yeah.
on Texas. So that was my biggest takeaway of, man, this Ohio State defense is for real again, and that spelled a lot of trouble for teams in the Big Ten. Because if that
Oh yeah.
offense starts to drive at any point, saying gets some reps underneath them, man, this team looks poised to maybe get back to what they did last year. But Texas is going to be fine. I mean,
Oh yeah.
uh, I'm not all that worried about it. It was an impossible ask of everybody what they've anointed Arch to be, and for him to even come close to those expectations was probably crazy to even think about. So,
Hmm.
like y'all said, the defense looked good. It felt like, I mean, it was only seven. I never really felt like they were in the game though. So, but
No.
Yeah,
again, you're on the road, first week of the year. Yeah, Texas is gonna be fine.
I agree.
Yep.
Before we jump on to the Saturday games, I definitely do want to touch on Boise State. We need to talk about
Oh yeah.
how big of a miss Ashton Genty is from that team.
Yeah,
Because
Nasty.
man, they didn't just lose, man. They
Got
got
blown
throttled.
out. Yes.
Yeah, and so again, now it comes to be. I mean, even if they run the table the rest of the way, that's a bad loss. And the only way they get in now, if they run the table, win the Mountain West, and hope for the other conference champions to lose, which
which they
I mean can't
won't because
happen.
they still have Notre Dame on the schedule, so that's a
Yeah,
loss.
for sure.
And
I mean,
and
yeah.
even the Mountain West is not a sure thing at this point. Um, with
I
that being
mean,
said, their
the
biggest
other,
test is supposed to be UNLV, also does
yep,
not look very good either. So. But
agreed.
yeah,
I was gonna
the I
say,
saw somebody put on Twitter, we should retroactively give Ashton Genty the Heisman after seeing how much worse Boise is. Because if we,
yeah,
if we thought if we thought he carried them last year, this was the most validation that I've ever seen that he was
for
the
100%.
sure.
sole reason they got to where they were as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their leading
That being
rusher on
said,
Thursday had 44 yards.
And he's supposed to be a decent running back, and like they
Yeah.
just got nothing. They brought the quarterback back. He was poo poo. I mean, it was just
yeah,
not. It was a very, very, very bad showing.
Yep.
Um,
yeah.
and honestly, Lucas's Tulane take looking pretty good.
I mean, they looked very good against
Part of the group of
Northwestern.
five.
I mean, they have a Power Four win under the belt. Granted, it's Northwestern, but Northwestern was supposed to be better this year offensively for sure, and they usually have a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So Tulane showed
USF as
out.
well. I don't know what USF has on their schedule, but I mean, we're all the talk's all about Boise, but what about the team that beat
Yeah,
them?
that's true.
Hmm.
That's very true. I don't know what their schedule looks like and shakes out. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Or
pull
they're
up what.
they're in the
Oh
AAC, so they got
God, never mind.
Memphis.
They
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 have
got
have
Florida and
Florida
then
Memphis.
and
Miami.
Miami the next 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
Oh
We're
wow!
gonna learn a lot about USF in the next 2 weeks. Holy cow.
Well,
But
and then later.
if they split
If they
that and then
split
went
that, they're in
out,
business. Yeah, they're in
yeah,
business. I mean, even if they lose them both, uh, I mean, what they
nah,
have, what they have in the Americans, not crazy.
no, it's not. It's not. But if Tulane can, I think if Tulane loses to Ole Miss and then wins out, I mean,
Yeah, but looking at this schedule, I can easily see USF and Tulane meeting in the American Conference Championship
Hmm.
oh, that's a good point. Yeah, absolutely.
because
Playing for
And
playing
yeah,
the
for a
winner of
playoff
that,
spot.
the winner of
Yeah.
that
that's right.
could be the team getting in the playoff.
It's almost like a 2014 playoff at that point.
Yeah,
Well, let's see what happens next week against Florida before
Yeah,
we go any further than
absolutely,
that.
for sure.
Because
But
it may just say a lot more about Boise State than it does about
and
South
it
Florida
it
next
definitely
week.
could. It definitely
Yeah.
could.
but if it's a close loss, I mean, you never know. You never know. But yeah,
I
I just
don't
wanted
think
to
there's any
touch
way
on
they
that.
split those.
No, I don't think so either.
Was there any other Friday games? I'm trying to remember everything that.
I mean, we'll kind of touch on it. The Baylor Auburn game. I mean, Auburn looked very good.
Yeah,
Um,
Auburn did look sharp. Yep.
that
again,
was
it's the
that was
first
one of
game.
the more impressive wins to go on the road. It was one of the more maybe the second most impressive win outside of Florida State, Alabama. But I mean, Baylor is supposed to be making noise in the Big 12, and I mean, Auburn just flat out beat them.
Yep.
But can we have a conversation about Baylor though? Is this a Baylor thing though? Because I feel like Baylor does this every year. We talk about it every first few weeks of the season. Dave Aranda's on the hot seat. Baylor's not starting off strong. They lose the first 2 or 3 games of the year. They lost to Texas State in the opener a few years ago, and then all of a sudden they start
Hmm.
rattling off wins at the end of the year and are
Yeah,
in contention to the Big 12 to play in the Big 12 championship game. And
Yep.
so, is this just what Baylor is, or was
yeah,
Auburn really that much better? Because I mean, for a while there, it was a relatively competitive game until Auburn kind of took control. But I mean, Auburn is going to be very good. There are people who are saying that Auburn might have the one of the best receiving cores in college football, and so they got talent. Can Jackson Arnold deliver and get them the ball whenever they play some of the higher end defenses? That's going to be kind of the thing, right? I mean, they have to play the number one ranked defense on NCAA football at the end of the year, and so we'll
I was
see
gonna
I
if
say
they
mean,
too,
can.
like you can't
the
expect Jackson Arnold to throw for 100 yards and run for 140 every week either. Like,
No, I agree because
yeah,
that's what he was having to do at Oklahoma, and look
Oklahoma,
how that
yeah,
turned out. But
yeah,
yeah,
think
but
about the
uh,
think about the weapons that he has now compared to what he had at OU.
yeah.
correct. But I mean, just from an offensive standpoint, like compared to last year, they opened their season against Alabama A&M and put up 73. They didn't score over 21 points again until Kentucky on October 26th last year.
Yeah,
And they went on the road at Baylor, and you go and you put up 38.
yeah,
I mean, so that's that's a much better start on offense, at least this
for
year,
sure. Yeah.
and signs of what I would assume would be more things to come. I mean, uh, so yeah, Auburn, maybe they don't sneak up into the top tier of the SEC, but they're probably going to beat somebody that coming in the season I thought would probably beat Auburn. Auburn probably sneaks at least one of those wins over somebody.
Because
Like,
I, I want to say last year I had them as my dark horse because the year before, like
you did.
they didn't have that great of a record, but they lost all of their games by like 1 to 3 points. Like they were in every single close game. That was the year they it had you had to get the Alabama miracle with Milrow 4th and 30, whatever. They should have beat Bama that year. They had a lot of really close losses, and so the talent has always been there. It's just could they put it together, and maybe they just needed a new quarterback, or and obviously they're stockpiled at the receiver position. So who knows? They might make some noise for sure because if you want to talk about it, obviously there were some surprises in the SEC, but there was also some disappointments this weekend too.
Absolutely.
So it could be a little more wide open than we think.
Well,
I
we'll
mean,
get
yeah,
into
we could,
those.
yeah,
Uh, well, the other Friday game I was going to touch on real quick was the Georgia Tech and Colorado game,
Oh
which ended
yeah,
up being
yeah,
a really good game. So I know, Will, you said in the text the other day that you feel like Colorado, like this is probably the best team overall
yeah,
that Dion's put together and since he's been there. So
yeah. I mean, I think it is. Also, some of the worst coaching in the last 2 minutes of a game that you could possibly do to not call your timeouts and just let the clock run down to almost nothing was pretty crazy
hmm
move there by Dion. But still, Georgia Tech I think it's if nothing else, you can't say Georgia Tech is not just a tough as nails team. So
hmm
to go in a battle with that and hold your own when people were kind of casting Colorado away after losing two players essentially. I thought it was a decent showing. And with as wide open as the Big 12 is, it was I think they could be better than what some people thought. At that same time, Georgia Tech probably played a C plus game for them. They turned the ball
yeah,
over three
yep,
times
yep.
on the road, and they still snuck out a win. So um, it almost might say more like Georgia Tech might be pretty dang good because they didn't play very good and they still snuck out of there with
they'll
the
find a
win. So
way. Yeah.
yeah. Again, they're just tough.
Um, and I'm not making this argument, but is Colorado like the opposite of Baylor? Right at the beginning of the year, like they went out and
Play good.
TCU went to a national championship. Colorado played TCU the first game of the season. They beat them, and then they were mediocre the rest of the way. It could be a case
Yeah.
of that too, where they come out hot, and then once the grind really starts, where you're back to back weekends on the road, like that kind of stuff happens, and we'll see what they are. But again, we're still really early. But I mean, you're spot on with this is probably the best top to bottom team. Like well-rounded team that Dion has had since he's been there. I agree, and they did look very good. Um, like you said, Georgia Tech, the three turnovers. Haynes King is a freaking machine, dude. Like that dude's a grinder.
Yeah,
19
He
100.
carries, 156 yards.
He had
like he,
almost as
he
many
Th
yards
three
by himself
tutties.
as Colorado. He had
you could
140
tell
passing, 160 rushing.
you could tell at the end of that when he had that long touchdown run, like he looked like he was about to collapse. Like
But
he,
Hmm.
he,
that's
he yeah,
and that's my main concern with Georgia Tech, man, is like
agreed,
this grinding schedule, and he's having to do this week one. We got a long season ahead of us.
agreed. I agree
I,
100%.
I feel like that's what happened to him last year too. It was the same thing. It was just they were just riding the Haynes King train, and then like eventually, like if you're just hitting like that every single week, you're eventually gonna just crash out. Like you just run out of gas. Like,
It's not sustainable. No,
no.
agreed. Agree 100%.
And then my dark horse Nebraska, they snuck out a win over Cincinnati. That was a big win. That was a gritty
Yeah,
win, but
that was a gritty win.
That was the
They
thing
did.
I had written down, boys. That was what I was going to talk about. That I told you I was going to write, but I forgot. Nebraska. I think Nebraska's season might come tumbling to the ground because their quarterback is more concerned with cosplaying as Patrick Mahomes than he is about being the quarterback of Nebraska football.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
dude. Yeah,
No, Nebraska's my dark horse. I think they have a legitimate chance to go 10 and 2, 11 and 1. And I
with that
think
schedule, yeah.
with that schedule, I think all of that hinges on their quarterback trying to play football and stop being Patrick Mahomes because it's gotten ridiculous. I mean, even the way
Hmm.
he was handing the football off, like it's a mirror image, and he was doing it in front of Mahomes at Arrowhead Stadium. So maybe that played into it, but that's what I saw. That he's more worried about being Patrick Mahomes than he is about playing quarterback, and that's got me concerned about maybe Nebraska doesn't reach their full potential.
Yeah.
It's not a bad argument at all.
But like, I don't know. It's that five-star quarterback thing, dude. Like, maybe he just doesn't have it, you know? Because he did not look good, in my opinion.
No, no,
And we talked about him on here plenty, but Nico as well. Like, they got the doors blown
Oh,
off of him last night.
bad, bad,
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Like,
Again, Utah, Devin Dampier in Utah,
dude, they're
Big
gonna
12
get.
might need to look out. Big 12
Yeah,
might need to look out.
agreed.
UCLA's bad. UCLA's very bad, but
Yes.
they again I mean just boat raced them, boat
Yeah.
raced them.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Um. So back to Saturday, 2:30 kick.
Back Saturday.
I guess we could. The other 11 o'clock. Tennessee boat raced Syracuse. Well,
Yeah,
I
It was
guess it was
close for
close.
a while.
Yeah, Syracuse tried to make a little bit of a comeback. Um,
but the inverse of what you just said about UCLA and Nico, Joey Aguilar looks pretty okay as
yeah, he
Tennessee's
did.
quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just the hypo magic or what, but yeah, I think Tennessee might be just fine at quarterback,
Well,
and
and
they
I
are
think that
not
goes to
missing
the
Nico for 1 second.
I think that goes to the point you made too about Heupel just being able to like whoever his quarterback is that he's able to just work with those guys and get them going. So I mean, I know Nico wasn't great last year, but yeah, getting Aguilar in there and just I mean, you definitely saw a difference. I mean, I think he looked sharp. I mean, he only threw the 28 passes and he had 250 yards and three touchdowns. So
Yeah, and I mean, and he wasn't overly impressive at App State last year, so it's not like he was. I mean, he was better 2 years ago than he was last year.
Yep.
But yeah, Nico leaving Tennessee seems to just keep getting better and better for
Yeah,
Tennessee. And that's not something you would normally say when a team that goes to the playoff loses their starting quarterback. That was a freshman, and you have 3 more years with him.
you also lost the SEC Player of the Year as well in Dylan
Yep.
Sampson.
True.
Like people forget about that as well.
Hmm.
Like he was a machine for Tennessee
Yeah.
last year. But
So their offense is still rolling, but
Tennessee's defense is what's going to keep them in games no matter what. Like
yeah.
defensively, they have a solid defensive roster. So I mean, yeah, I mean they're definitely one to watch. And I mean, they play Bama. I think they play Georgia. They play Florida. They have a pretty tough schedule, but I believe they play them all. But
They play Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma,
oh, they don't
and
have Florida.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do have Florida.
so
Second to last
they
game
have
Mm.
a
of the
tough
year.
run, and so we'll see. I think I mean I think 6-2, and if you go 6-2 in the league, you're in the conversation of possibly getting in the championship game,
Yeah.
depending on tiebreakers and stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, the we did talk about it during the SEC predictions and stuff, but this middle of the pack section, when I say that, I'm saying middle of the pack is including what, probably 10 teams in the SEC.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I think one of us said it that between teams 4 and 11, like what's the difference? Like
yeah,
they're all about the same. And I think this weekend only just proved that because Bama got knocked from the top tier down to that second tier. If you had them in the
agreed.
top tier, which
Yeah.
most of us
I did
didn't,
not.
because
I didn't.
we thought they were 9-3 at best. They might be 7-5 at best now. We'll get to
Yeah,
them in a second, but I mean, with Auburn looking impressive, with Tennessee coming out a little stronger than I thought they might, uh, that the middle of the pack in the SEC looked very good this week, and
agreed.
it's going to just be they might just you know the conference might cannibalize itself like it has in past years in that middle of the pack.
It should be fun to watch.
It'd be great to watch.
I mean, even the bottom, Kentucky and Mississippi State both got dubs.
Yeah.
Mississippi State had to they were in a bit of a dogfight there until half,
I
which
mean, I think
wasn't that shocking.
Kentucky, yeah, it
Oh,
wasn't.
actually, I thought Toledo was live in that game because Toledo beat Mississippi State to open the season last year.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, they
killed them
did.
to start the season last year. So I thought Toledo was very live in that Kentucky game, but uh,
Zach Calzada
tw
just too good, dude.
yeah, 19-year senior Zach Calzada led the Kentucky Wildcats to a
He
huge
was
season
uh
opening win.
10 for 23 with 85 yards. So
So funny, man.
against Toledo,
That's so bad.
that
How's
might
that
be
even
their only win of the year.
possible?
I think it might be like, well, they should beat Eastern Michigan if they beat Toledo, but
Yeah,
yeah, I still stand firm that I think Kentucky is the worst team in the SEC.
It's starting to
I
look
think I
that
would
way.
agree. I think I
Because
would agree with that.
I think Southern Miss. I like their coach coming from Marshall, and he brought a lot of that team with him. So I think they're not a bad football team.
Yeah,
Mississippi State's not a great football team, but uh, they showed me more than what I saw at Kentucky.
yeah.
Man, and just go back and think about how close Aggie was to signing Mark Stoops as their next head coach.
Guys, guys, I've probably talked about it on here before. I was, I don't get mad all that often, like truly mad. I was shaking pissed off when that update came across that we were in the final stages to hire Mark Stoops. I lost it. I
Yep.
absolutely lost it.
So did the boosters.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why that was even ever in discussion. So yeah, no, I don't want to get off in the weeds on that too much, but yeah, that was one of the crazier things. A&M does a lot of stupid stuff. That was one of the crazier things that we've ever come close to doing.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
um,
Oh,
I think that could lead us into right into Alabama. than
Yes.
Florida State.
This is the consensus most surprising outcome of the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah, because not only was it an upset, but just like you said earlier, Will, like just the absolute just domination and every aspect of the ball, like just from top to bottom. Like Florida State just controlled that game the entire time. It was unbelievable.
My whole thing going into this game, like leading up to it, is my whole thing was if Florida State keeps it a close game, it's a win for them.
Hmm.
Like if they keep it close, if they lose by a field goal, a touchdown, like that's something that they can build on. They purely dominated Alabama, and I think there's just more of that coming for Alabama. It's just
Yep.
again, you can't expect to lose the best coach of all time and expect to keep doing what you were doing.
No.
Um, the reason I said it was a good segue because I mean, shoot, we talked about it a while ago, but Alabama might be looking for a new head coach at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I
The
know
board
his
buyout's like
buyout's like
I think
60.
it's 70, but
I think by the end of the year it's 60.
it's
I
60.
think once the season's over, it drops to 60. But dude, after the whole last 15, 20 years of what Alabama football has been, like they want that still, and I think they're gonna.
Correct.
I don't know if they have that kind of money to shell out. Like they don't have a bunch of oil wells in West Texas like A&M has, where they could say, "Hey, let's increase production so we can buy out our coach." You know,
Yeah.
but uh, my whole thing though is who you're going to hire. You're going to go get Mark Stoops? Like who's going to want to take on that program and have that? Like because most
Five.
schools,
Yeah.
the big schools have expectations, right? LSU has expectations to win national championships. Texas has expectations to win national championships. Alabama has that expectation, but even more. Like they're after what they had for the last 20 years, their expectation is a dynasty still, and they just
Yep.
have to come to the realization that's not going to happen anymore.
Well, yeah.
And so,
That was an
no matter
impossible situation.
for sure, and it still is. So, like whatever coach comes in there, they're going to have an impossible job of pleasing these Alabama fans who still think that their program is what it was 5 years ago. Like a lot of them have been like whenever Nick Saban retired, they were like, "Oh, it was probably about time anyway. He was getting past it. The game passed him up." They were in a college football semifinal against Notre Dame and almost beat Notre Dame to go to the national championship they would have won the Natty that year. Or no, it
Yep.
was Michigan. Sorry, it was Michigan. It was the year against where Michigan won it all against TCU. Yeah.
No. Uh. Washington.
Oh, it was the Washington year. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, if Alabama wins that game, they're probably national champions again. But Alabama fans think that he was past it. Come on, this is what they are now. Like they're going to be a mediocre middle of the pack SEC team, like a normal team should be.
They're gonna revert back to what they were before Nick Saban got there.
Yep.
I,
Exactly.
I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Not quite that bad, but yeah. I mean,
They're going to have some years where they pop. They're going to have some years where they're in the middle of the pack. They're going to be an LSU.
yeah. My
Like
biggest problem was just the disengagement of players. Like they just seemed uninspired and like not really wanting to be there, kind of. I don't know, like the whole morale around the team. You always go back to like, but Nick Saban would have had those players way more fired up, and they just did
100%.
not. They did like when the going got tough. It's like they just quit. Like they
Yeah.
I
really
think they
didn't
thought they were
try to
just.
be like. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think they thought they were just gonna walk in there and just roll over them. Like I think they thought it
Yeah,
was still the 2-10 Florida State team of last year. Like
they were
we're just
just
gonna step on the
blindsided,
field and just roll over you. Yeah.
but instead of attacking the adversity, like they just like shut it down. I hope, well, we'll try it again next week. And like that to me is the like if he's already if he doesn't have the respect of the locker room and those guys are gonna do that, that's a big problem. That's a
Hmm.
massive, massive problem. Because
Yeah.
the talent's still there. They're still bringing in five stars. The kids are talented, but if they can't get that talent out, or if he doesn't have that locker room, buyout or no buyout, you got to figure something out. Because if you can't buy him out and you're stuck with that, that's a big, big problem for Alabama.
So the talent is still there, but the talent is not what it was either, though. You have to think about that too.
That's true.
Like when the best defensive player in the country transfers to Ohio State out of your program, like that's a problem.
Hmm.
Nick Saban would never let that happen.
No,
No.
that's never happened. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's part of it too. I think they lost 41 players off their roster again last year. Like they transferred out. Like that is what it is now. Like, and Bama fans are just gonna have to accept that. Like it's okay. That's a normal thing to be.
It
Like
it happened everywhere else while y'all were living in a fantasy land for 20
yeah,
years.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and
But
again,
So,
the media doesn't help that either when college football ranks them the highest ranked team in the game, and like everybody expects them to just be in the top five again this year. Like all that plays into that. So then those Bama fans, like they just eat all that up and they just expect, like you said, they just expect to be the national champion every year.
and I think that has to do with the letter A on their helmet. And over the last 20 years, they've earned that. But when you lose the guy who built it to that, I mean, you have to expect some drop off.
Hmm.
yeah, but did you what was the stat I heard? So when Nick Saban's a two touch or a double digit favorite, he went what like 132 and 2.
I think it was 163 and 3. He lost 3 games as a double
Okay.
digit dog.
And DeBoer's
Kalen
already
DeBoer's
lost
was 4.
4 as a double digit favorite.
Yeah, and dude, Alabama's 5-5 in their last 10 games,
10 games, yes.
Mm,
And
and
not
they've
two of
great.
lost
those in embarrassing fashion to Oklahoma
OU.
and I mean a lot of guys set out like Michigan was not a good team either, but the OU game and this game are both and that's two of your last three embarrassing fashion.
But dude, if you go back to whenever we did the podcast, whenever they lost to Vanderbilt, that wasn't a fluke Vanderbilt win either.
No, it
Like
was not a
Vanderbilt,
fluke.
Vanderbilt put it to them, dude. Like it's just a different level of football. Like it's not smash mouth Alabama football anymore.
That's the whole
Like
thing. You're so used to Bama dominating in the trenches, and like they got dominated on both trenches
dude,
on Saturday.
there was a time where LSU had the consensus almost name etched in the trophy Heisman candidate, and Leonard Fournette goes to Alabama and rushes for like 13 yards. Alabama just put him in a chokehold, lost the Heisman
Hmm.
just from that game. Now you have Tommy Castellanos or whatever, and a Florida State team now rushing for 250 yards right up their ass.
Yeah, the whole game.
That's the
Again,
that's that,
it wasn't a fluke. There was nothing fluky about this. This was a dominating win by Florida State.
and we'll get into the LSU part too. But I mean, LSU was the same way in the 2000s and 2010s. Their defense was no, like they were a solid defensive team. In the last 5 to 6 years, LSU's defense has been kind of what Bama was last night. Like
Right.
just yeah, just wide open.
No,
Well, let's.
it's crazy to see how fast the fall from grace is in Bama. Like we all
I was
knew
gonna
DeBoer couldn't live up to the expectation, but I, I'd be lying to say if I thought it would happen quite this fast. Even though I have said I didn't believe in Bama, but I still thought they would win the game, and I still thought they'd have a good
yeah,
season with an outside chance to get back in the playoff because the talent's there. And like this is a team that's gonna, I think, might struggle to win 8 games.
yeah. I left them out of my playoffs this year and last year just because I think 9-3 is their ceiling.
Yeah, I left them out
Hmm.
this year as well, but I thought nine. I thought it was because they'd go 9-3 again.
Yeah,
I do not know if that's going to happen. Legitimately, do not know that's going to happen.
I mean, I think they have to go to Auburn. We just talked about Auburn. They have to
They have to
go.
go to South Carolina, and is South Carolina not almost the same team as Florida State as far as the dynamic quarterback? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe they don't have quite the playmaker or they don't have the depth maybe Florida State does as far as just guys, but they have more high end talent than I would say that with Dylan Stewart at the defensive end position, Norris Sellers at quarter, like they have more
yeah.
star type guys. So you have to play
Um,
Tennessee. You have to go to Georgia. I mean,
you
yeah,
get yeah, you get LSU at home, which is nice, but again, it's a tough schedule too. Like it's
yeah.
we'll see.
Well, let's move into the LSU game. So, another gritty game, very
Yeah,
defensive heavy. very back and forth. We talked about the big loss of the safety in the first half, and then Lucas, like I think you said right before the podcast, like he played the second half, and then all of a sudden LSU didn't give up a point in the second half. So
Shut him out.
just a crazy game. But I guess Lucas, you know better than anybody. I mean, what are your kind of your thoughts?
I mean, defensively, first and foremost, um, this is what $20 million to buy a rosters like will get you at the end of the day. Um, Reports out of Baton Rouge, they're saying that last year's roster cost about $5 to $6 million. Add $15 million to that, and this is what you get. You get talented players that are going to be able to make plays on both sides of the ball. I mean, it defensively they looked phenomenal. The secondary was great. Harold Perkins was a freaking
I was,
absolute
I was just about to
monster.
say, well, welcome back to college football, Harold Perkins, because
Yeah,
man,
I
it's a
mean,
much better place with him in it, dude. He's fun to watch.
he made life difficult for Klubnik for sure. Like the whole defensive line did. Like he was happy feet the whole game. Like he had somebody in his face almost every drop back.
Hmm.
Um, Coverage was tight on almost every single contested ball, which was
On
great to
very
see
good
as well.
Clemson wide receivers.
Very good. The big question mark was LSU's offensive line against that defensive front, and I think they held their own. I mean,
Held their own more than you could have wanted.
Yeah, Nussmeier had a pretty clean pocket for most of the game. They were able to run block very well. I mean, we rushed the ball, I think, for 120, 130 yards, which is pretty good, um, especially with that defensive front. Um, I think I mentioned it on here too. Obviously, Clemson's defensive front seven is really good, but LSU's defensive front seven is really good too, and they've been practicing against that for the last 3 weeks. So I mean, I think
Clemson
there's
had
some
32 rushing yards.
yes, 1.6
Cl
yards a carry.
Klubnik had one. Now I don't know what that is without the sack yards, but Klubnik's a very dynamic player. Holding him under, holding him to 1 yard, phenomenal.
Yeah, and again, you saw it on some of those plays, especially that last play of the game, the last fourth down play. Perkins was pretty much spying him the whole time, comes all the way around the edge and knocks him back, or like rushes him into his throw, knocks him down, has a knockdown, whatever, and forces a bad throw. I mean, that's kind of what Perkins did to him all game, kept him in check, which I thought was great. Again, offensively, the game was obviously what a 7 point win for LSU. They also got a touchdown taken off the board, which was weird.
Oh God,
I think that was clearly a catch. We talked about the
catch.
pylon thing in here before too.
Yeah.
Like the ball legitimately crossed the pylon, and they
Hmm.
said it was incomplete. I don't know
It's
if that would have caused LSU to lose that game. I would have been absolutely pissed. Like Nola no call pissed. Um,
I think they said on the broadcast, like, if that's not a catch, then the standard to be a catch is a lot harder than we think it is. Because
yes,
Oh yeah.
how in the world
like
is that not a catch?
I don't know. Um, and so that was a little frustrating, and then they missed the field goal right after that. So it kind of made it a little more stressful than it should have been. But again, I think overall, going into Clemson dominating in that environment like they did is a great sign for LSU defensively. I think they might have a top 20 defense this year, if I'm being honest.
Well, I thought it was impressive too that LSU was able to run the ball a little bit too. And that's one
Yeah,
thing we talked about last year. That's what they struggled with a lot. So for them to still have over 100 yards rushing, and Caden Durham, I mean, he looked solid. I mean, he had some big runs.
he
I mean, I
did.
thought he looked pretty sharp. So just the fact that they were able to create space and open up, I mean, because Nussmeier, it wasn't like last year where he's having to throw for 400 yards to try to win a game. He only threw for
Yeah,
230 last night, and they still found a way to win. So the fact
And
that
he
they're able to
didn't
do
make the
that,
mistakes that you
yeah,
that hindered him in the losses last year.
yep.
He'd make those throws where it's like, what were you seeing there, Nuss?
Hmm.
And he
but there
didn't have
was
those.
I mean, all of his throws, there wasn't a single throw that he made that was in question of, at all of being even close to be. Like, he didn't throw in any double coverage. Like, I feel like he made great decisions the whole game,
Yes.
which is a phenomenal thing to see. If he continues to do that, I mean,
No,
I think he's
absolutely. I
the,
mean,
I think he's the Heisman favorite coming out of the game now.
oh,
He
I
definitely
mean,
is.
this was the battle of the Heis, the two most picked guys I think to win the Heisman. And
Yeah,
I think a lot of the Klubnik thing was around the whole team, but still, yeah, I mean, you win the game on the road with, two the touchdown, the that missing a half, you have two fumbles. I mean,
yeah,
everything that happens and LSU wins this game and Nussmeier plays a good football game. Yeah, and what happened up in at Ohio State Arch not having a very good
yeah.
game, like that's
Hmm.
Nussmeier
That's
squarely in the driver's seat for the Heisman right now.
that's a good point too. Is Clemson's one score as well was off of a turnover. Like
Yes.
that's, or actually, maybe it wasn't. I know their field goal was to make it 10, but yeah, dude, like it's overcoming all that stuff and still coming away with a win is huge.
No,
Um,
this
it sucks.
this game should validate what's on your chest right now, that this should be a team that should make noise to this team should have national championship aspirations.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. But you can always say that before a season, but like a win like this with the adversity, with in that environment against this talented team, this validates anything that people are saying about LSU. Like this is it's one of those years LSU could just go on a run.
Yeah. Um, the one thing this win does too is it gives LSU some wiggle room, right? Because
Correct. Yeah.
I don't expect LSU to go undefeated. Like that's I mean you're going to play your worst game at some point in the season. Hopefully, when you play your worst game, you still find a way to win. But with the schedule, what it is, I mean, we have to go to Alabama, we have Florida, we have to go to Norman. Like, there's some
You
big
got
games.
you
We have to
you
go
have
to
games
Ole Miss.
against you have six more ranked games on your schedule.
Yes, yeah, and so to go undefeated, that's kind of a that's a pipe dream a little bit. It can happen for sure. I think obviously if they play like they did last night defensively, they could beat any team in the country. But I just uh, I just love that it gives you some wiggle room now. You can drop and lose two conference games and still go 10-2. That should get you in the playoff, um, which would be phenomenal. That's the goal is just to get in the dance. So
Right.
definitely a good step in the right direction for sure. So
For sure.
um, yeah,
Yeah, I
I
mean
thoroughly enjoyed it.
the win means much more for LSU than Clemson because
Yes.
of what LSU still has to face. The inverse of that is Clemson doesn't really have a whole lot on their schedule.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
it gives them less wiggle room. I mean, essentially they can only drop one more game. And there is a couple
Yeah.
tough ones, at Georgia Tech, now against Florida State, and
Louisville.
in the season at South Carolina, yeah, Louisville in there as well. So it gives them less wiggle room, but I would feel better. Or Clemson's still okay. Like they're going to be
Yeah. Oh
okay. Where
yeah.
LSU would have been a much more difficult spot having lost that game as far as making a playoff and postseason aspirations.
I mean, are we going to have to start asking the question now? Can Dabo Sweeney win an opener? I mean, and Brian Kelly got it the whole time. Can Dabo? They lost three in a row.
Is
Yep.
it is it is it three in
We
a
got to
row?
ask those questions. Do they lost to Duke
Duke,
3 years? They
yeah,
lost to Duke.
2023 they
They
lost
got
to Duke. Bad.
blown out by Georgia, and now they lost to LSU. Can Dabo win the opener? Like, why is the media not running with that?
Because
Let's,
all of
let's
them anointed Clemson the most talented roster in football. That's a real bad look to already throw a different narrative out there after week one. So
yeah, just
everybody's just worried about their pride.
yeah, it's crazy.
Don't worry. That face value is going to get the narrative going, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's get it
it's
going.
I don't know. It's just the all that like the media and the like the misconceptions with coaches and stuff. I just don't get it, dude. Like the whole like James Franklin can't win the big game. He can't win a national championship. Well, yeah, not many coaches do. Like it's hard to do that.
Ryan
Hmm.
Day
Like
had that narrative forever, and then
for
he
sure.
wins it, and like we've all said before, nobody's ever won it until they win it. So
Yep.
Yeah. Um, One Piece. Since you brought up his name, can we talk about his nipple ring, please? Is that a real
yeah,
thing? Is that
no,
photoshopped or no?
it's
What?
photoshopped. It's photoshopped.
Oh, I was
Okay.
like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Okay.
I did some digging on that because I was gonna throw that earlier with some stuff, but yeah, I didn't bring it up because it's my sources have confirmed to me that it was a Photoshop.
Okay, I figured some Michigan fan probably did that.
Yeah,
It's
because if it
disappointing.
wasn't, that would have been hilarious.
I mean, yeah, it
Yeah,
was making its rounds for sure.
the photo is
Um,
still funny. Don't even, the photo is very funny, but
yeah, I agree.
uh, with it not being true, of course, takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails there.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Yeah, there was, dude, Twitter's undefeated, man. Just some of the things on there is just
Twitter's great. I hadn't been on it in years until we started doing this, and I go and see it, but yeah, it's so funny.
like I love just like scrolling Twitter during the game just to see what people have to say. Like there was one during the Texas game. It was like Arch has more commercials than completions. Like like
Yeah.
it's so good. That's so good. Like how do you come up with that? That's gold, man. These people are good. So funny. And then the
Oh
Ryan Day
man,
thing, making the rounds. Wild.
it's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll into Sunday. So our 2 o'clock game today, we had South Carolina and Virginia Tech. I know we talked about it a little bit. South Carolina's defense still looks solid, even though they replaced a lot of pieces. Virginia Tech didn't look great. I saw one piece that like really they said was a big difference in the game is that uh, Karen Drones was 1 for 13 in the red zone in the
Oof.
game today, which was a huge turning point for that. So I mean, really, it was a back and forth game until South Carolina returned that punt for the touchdown in the third quarter. I mean, it was 10-8, and
Separated it.
Virginia Tech was
Yeah.
right there the entire time, and then never really able to catch up after that. So I mean, it's just kind of like I said, South Carolina's defensively still looks good, still looks solid, but I mean, offensively, I mean, they did what they had to do, but I mean, only getting 17 points offensively, I mean, it's kind of a something to look at as well.
Yeah, it definitely raises some questions for sure.
Yeah,
Let
this team's going as far as Lenore Sellers carried them.
yeah.
Hmm.
Which again, we talked about the middle of the pack SEC teams. They're there.
They're squarely in the middle of that. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, draw a team out of a hat. One of them's gonna end up going 10-2, and one of them's gonna end up going 6-6, and they're the exact same team. Like it
Yeah.
just depends however whichever way it shakes out for them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
He really didn't
a
run the ball
lot
today
of close
either.
games.
He only had 25 yards rushing today, so I guess he had 13 rushes for 25 yards.
Yeah, it's probably sack adjusted though too. He had a few
Yeah,
pretty dynamic runs, like where he's shedding tacklers and stuff, which is what he does. He's just a big
right.
guy. Um, but again, I'd like to see him go up against a little bit better of a defense and see kind of how he fares. Because again, last year mm, there were some times where he was struggling to throw the ball down the field, which he did make a few pretty good throws today. He had that deep ball,
Yeah, they
that
had the
long touchdown
64-yard
pass.
touchdown pass,
Yeah,
which the guy
but
was wide open though, so
yeah, for sure. But it was on it was on time. It looked
it
pretty good,
was
pretty
in
good throw.
stride.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll see with South Carolina.
yeah.
Yeah, good opening win for them. That would have been embarrassing, I think, if they would have lost that game.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Virginia Tech as a team isn't that good. I mean, Kyron Jones has a lot of hype around him. He's got a good build. He looks like he's pretty athletic, but decision making today was a little iffy.
Yeah.
hmm
15 for 35, two picks. Not a great stat line, but
Mm-mm.
because I mean, South Carolina has a decent D line. I mean, I don't think they're crazy good in the secondary. I think they're just an average team, and like they were able to lock down Virginia Tech's receivers pretty well. So
They were definitely better last year on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll see how
yes,
that translates and how well they can bounce back,
correct.
replacing all those pieces.
Well, I mean, and outside of today, I mean, really their toughest game. Well, they have Vanderbilt next week, which we don't really know what Vanderbilt is, but I
Bottom
mean,
of
they
the
got Louisville.
SEC.
Well, the end of their schedule is tougher because they got at Georgia
It's a
Tech,
they have an
Louisville, Florida
ins
State, Miami. Like it's a it's a tough stretch.
Yeah.
who's that?
Virginia
Virginia
Tech.
Tech.
Oh, Virginia Tech. Oh, I thought we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's gonna.
South Carolina has an impossible
Oh yeah,
stretch.
their
I didn't even
Yeah,
schedules.
realize this.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I
yeah.
I was
Their
just looking
schedule's
at
just
it too.
brutal.
They've outside of Coastal, they got LSU, Oklahoma, Bama, Ole Miss, A&M, and Clemson to finish the
Yeah,
season. Holy
Oh my
smokes!
gosh, dude.
yeah. They got it, and
I
that's
did not realize that, man. We got to talk about Oklahoma and Florida having such awful slates. This one's right up there with them.
yeah. But now that we know what Bama is, what they look like yesterday, that's I mean that's a winnable game for them now. I think.
They also had Bama in a dogfight last year.
Yeah, they did.
So should have won that game actually, but
Yep. So we'll see.
Mm. And then the game going on right now, we got Notre Dame and Miami. Um, Carson Beck, I mean, hasn't looked terrible.
No.
no, I mean, again, there's a reason he was a contender preseason for Heisman last year. A reason he was getting number one overall pick hype, whether it was totally warranted, but like there's a reason you have that type of hype. Like you have tools.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it. I was talking about Miami kind of being Carson Beck having a bounce back year. Um, I mean, I don't know how good he's actually going to be, but he looks okay. He looks okay.
Does this say more
Yeah.
about Miami or Notre Dame so far
Well, I
in
was
this
gonna.
game?
That's
Do
what I was just
y'all?
about to go into. Is like just watching. The biggest thing that I'm seeing from Notre Dame is they're trying to mirror CJ Carr to be what Riley Leonard was last year,
I was
where
agree with that
he
100%.
just drops the ball off and then he's trying to run the ball a lot. I mean, he's 12 for 20 for 93 yards right now. And
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love's been pretty much non-existent in the game. He has 8 yards for 18 rushes or 8 rushes for 18 yards.
Which to me is shocking because with the conditions right now, I thought this was going to be a run heavy game.
Yeah,
Specifically when
I
you
did too.
have consensus top, probably most people consider Jeremiah Love to be the top running back in college football. He's got
he's
eight
up there for
touches
sure. Yeah.
in a game that's soaking wet. Uh,
And
so
Miami couldn't stop anybody last year defensively.
yeah, this is surprising game plan to me so far from Notre Dame at least.
Yeah. I don't really understand. I don't really know what they're going for there. I mean, because Jadarian Price 6 rushes for 45 yards, so I don't know if it's they're just trying not to because didn't Love have a bad injury at the end of the year last year?
I mean,
Or
he played through it, but yeah, he had some nagging stuff that was kind of hampering him.
but he
I
should
think
be, so he should be
lower
100%
leg
then
or
now.
ankle or something, if I remember right. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was playing through some stuff, but he's fine. And I think either I don't know if it was Freeman, maybe it was the offensive coordinator said like this year is going to be it's going to be a heavy dose of Jeremiah Love. Like we are going to let him go do what he can do,
Yeah,
and we're
Yeah.
splitting carries 8 and 6.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Uh, and it's not like they're behind by a lot where they're having to just go out and throw the ball. Like this is obviously like the game plan.
Hmm.
So it's, again, surprising to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Notre Dame might be in trouble though.
I mean they
Yeah,
got
I mean,
some games coming up that are tough.
yeah, we got them in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that and then don't they go? Do they go to Arkansas?
They do go to
They got
Arkansas,
two
yes.
Arkansas.
I mean they have Florida State. I mean we saw what Florida State did yesterday too.
No, they don't have Florida State.
They don't. I thought they had Florida State
Mm-mm.
this year.
No,
No,
No.
no. I
no.
mean, outside of after these, like they have these 2 games, and if you want to consider at Arkansas tough, the other two that are even remotely iffy would
USC.
be it's home. USC and Pitt are the only 2 games that would
Yeah.
even really give you any sense of cause for concern.
Do they play Northern Illinois this year?
They do
No, not
not.
this year.
Well, yeah, then
They're
they're
not even
good.
playing. They lost so bad last year that they don't even have a week 2 game this year. They just skipped that
They
week
have a
completely.
bye.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Imagine having a week two bye. Jesus.
it is crazy.
Ugh.
they're scared to play in, man.
I guess so.
Are you
Need a
ready
whole
for him?
extra week to need a whole extra week to game plan.
That's right.
Yeah, they're 6.5 point favorites right now, but I think that that's going to change pretty quick.
Against A&M?
Yeah, right now.
Really? Oh, dude, I'm
It
taking
might,
A&M in the
if
points all
if
day
if they end up losing this game, that line will come closer together.
for sure.
Oh,
But
for sure.
if you're giving me 6 points for A&M, I'm taking that now.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't love that. I don't love I don't love, even though I picked Miami as an A&M fan, I don't love them losing this game because they're going to be hyper focused now for the
Yeah,
A&M
true,
because they're going to have to come out and make a statement against A&M. So
And
true.
getting 2 weeks to prepare.
I don't love that if I'm being honest. I
That's
would have
true.
much rather them boat race Miami and been uber confident and then we come in and catch them sleeping, but that will not be the
Yeah,
case.
true.
The last game I was going to touch on, the Big 12 favorites, Kansas State,
Yeah.
Yep.
sneaking out against North Dakota, 38-35.
Dude,
Not even North Dakota State. North Dakota scored in the last minute to win the game. It was
Can
I
can
have two playoff picks that are dead and that is one of them.
can we can we check the tapes? And I said that could honestly be a watch out game for them. I thought it was North Dakota State that they were playing, but dude, they just came all the way back from freaking Ireland, had to go play over there, and then come all the way back here and play an FCS school.
And
Like
I think
they were lucky to win
I
it. They
think you
took a
did say
game-winning
it.
drive to like
I
they
did,
were losing.
I absolutely did say it. To watch out for that. Um, I mean, did I think it was going to be that close? No. Like I, that's wild. What was Avery Johnson doing?
I mean, if you again the if you go look at his stats, it's like okay, 28 for 43, three tutties, threw for 318. It looks better than what it was again.
Yeah,
It was not that impressive. And
and with against that
again,
opponent.
they are not using his legs at all.
Yeah,
And
Like,
only
yes,
seven
he has,
rushes.
yeah, for 43 yards, but a couple of those were just scrambles. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't the game plan
design.
in. I don't know why they're trying to force this guy to be something that I don't think he is,
Yeah.
and they better right the ship quick, or this season's gonna spiral on them.
hmm
And
Oh
I
my
don't know if it
gosh.
can.
Like an Oklahoma State
I mean,
situation.
I think you're spot on with the travel deal. But again, on the flip side of that, Iowa State looked fine
I was gonna say they did
in their
okay.
game,
Yeah, they're also coming off of a win. Like you have to go
which
all
to
the way
me would
over
be
there. You're demoralized. Like you have to. Like I just traveled 4,000 miles to lose a game in the rain in Ireland,
again
and
though,
now
if you're the coach and if like, you got to rally your guys.
oh,
And
absolutely,
Kleiman to me that guys like playing for Kleiman, so I'm a little surprised
yeah,
that this would. I mean, it's the perfect makeup for a letdown game, but I would almost say it's more of a letdown coming off a win because you're sleeping a little more. When you come off a loss, you should be uber motivated.
yeah, agreed, agreed.
And it does, and yeah, I don't know.
They better figure it out quick though, or it's about to be an ugly
Very
season.
fast, very fast.
Yeah.
They do have a little lax in the schedule, because they get the defending American Conference champions Army, who looked abysmal,
I was gonna
Oh
say
my
they've not
God.
looked good.
ab abysmal. So yeah,
Can speaking of that,
Losing to Tarleton State is nuts.
Mm.
can we give a hug to the kid from Tarleton State who made the tackle and then army crawled? Did you see that clip?
Yeah, I did.
I did not see that clip. That's
Bro,
hilarious.
Yeah.
the audacity to do it in double overtime. The game still hasn't been won, and he busts out. He makes a TFL, and he starts army crawling, and then acts like he has like a gun and props it up.
That's funny,
Just
man.
Like if that was God, what's his name? The basketball player who gets
Oh,
fined all the time.
John Morant.
Yeah, if that was John
Oh,
Morant,
oh.
he'd be suspended for life. But dude, it was a funny little clip there.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we'll see, but I mean that's all the real big games. I mean there were some other ones. My Big 12
Yeah,
champion, they look Texas Tech looked great against Arkansas Pine Bluff,
did
but
they?
Yeah,
yeah,
like
one
66.
67 to 7.
Yeah, it was,
They covered the spread, which was 55 and a half. So
That's a crazy spread.
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
I was like, oh my gosh, dude. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, we all
So
ready to
we,
jump into our 5 games of the week?
I am. Let's do it.
I will say though, Miami's probably gonna win this game, which is gonna put me at 0 for 4 this week so far. So it's not been a great week
What
for our
what did
pick'ems.
I had Miami,
I had
but
Miami
I had Texas. I lost. I had Clemson. Lost. What was the other game?
South
because every other
Carolina.
game was the same.
Oh, South Carolina, we got right. Wait, what's South
Yeah.
Carolina game?
No.
Uh,
Mm-mm.
what were the
Oh man.
games? How do I not
Oh.
remember now?
Oh, Alabama, Florida State.
Alabama, Florida State. Yep, that was the other one.
Was that? Did we do Alabama, Florida State? Dang,
Yeah, we
dude. Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be 1-3.
Yeah.
Mm.
Going into TCU, North Carolina
And we had a
tomorrow
TCU
night.
sweep on that.
Yeah, we do.
Dang.
Oh
Hopefully
man,
TCU.
man, Brian. We can open the season 0-5.
I'm a big TCU fan right now.
Yeah.
Not that me and Lucas could be much better. We could easily end up going 1-4 ourselves. So
Yeah.
Wait, you had
Um,
Miami as well, Will?
yeah,
I
Yeah.
picked Notre Dame just to go against y'all so we wouldn't sweep
because
everything, and
yeah, for
now we're
for
Oh
now
yeah,
for
that's right.
graphic purposes, that's the only difference between all 5 games.
Yeah.
not great.
Well, yeah,
Let's
let's
get
pick
into our
them. Let's
games of
pick
the
them.
week.
Yeah.
So, like we said, there's a big drop off from week 1 to week 2. Still a couple of just good matchups, not high ranking matchups, but good matchups. So, we'll start off. We got SMU at Baylor. So, Dallas Fort
Flip it,
Worth.
flip it. Baylor, but Baylor's at SMU, right?
No, I think it's at Baylor. I look wrong.
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay. SMU is a 3-point favorite.
So pretty much a pick them then.
Yeah. So, Lucas, go ahead.
Um, I'm gonna go with SMU here. Um, I think Baylor coming off that loss against Auburn didn't look the best. I think kind of what I was saying earlier. It's just the beginning of the year for Baylor, and I feel like they always start off slow. This is a rivalry game. Um, I don't think SMU is going to be near what they were last year. Uh, but is it Kevin Jennings, the quarterback?
Hmm.
Mm,
I think he's going to do well against that Baylor or defense, who did not look like they were stopping much against Auburn on the ground. So I'll go ahead and roll with SMU.
Will?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't come away impressed that much with Baylor on the mostly on the defensive side, but I am going to attribute that more to I was more impressed with Auburn than not impressed with Baylor, and I am not high on SMU. So, and I do like Baylor's offense a lot. I think the total here is 65.5, which is a
It is.
high. I might take the over. I think there's going to
Yeah.
be points all over the place in this game. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll with the Bears. I'm gonna roll with the Bears. I think they're better than what they showed, but I do think this offense is gonna just put up tons of points, especially on teams like SMU, which I don't know how good their defense is really gonna be. So, I'll take Baylor. Starting off with a split, so we don't have the same as last week. I gotta
There we
take a
Yeah.
go.
chance. Gotta take a chance somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta go somewhere. No, I'm gonna take SMU. I think I'm mostly gonna go with SMU because they're at home. I still think they're a good football team. Baylor just, I don't know. Like I feel like if it turns into a shootout, I feel like SMU that kind of benefits them. Um, so yeah, so I think they could end up taking this one. So, but I think it will be a good game though, and I could see it being like a massively high scoring game, like soaring
Yeah,
above the 65 and a half.
yeah.
All right, our second game is Iowa at Iowa State, who is a 2.5 point favorite. So, Will, go ahead and lead off on this one.
I am going to roll with Iowa State. They've looked more impressive. I don't know if y'all looked up Iowa stats from their game this weekend. It was,
I
I
did.
mean, just picture perfect Iowa football. Everything
Yeah,
you would expect the stat line to look like, it's what it was. And yeah, I just Iowa State's a better team. I know it's at Iowa. I know it's a rivalry, all this stuff. Iowa State's just a better team.
yeah. I'm with you. I really like Rocco Becht. Um, I think Iowa State takes this honestly pretty handedly. I just don't see Iowa putting up points. I think Iowa State wins 17 to nothing.
Oh,
That's what they say. Like
it's at
the
Iowa
over
State. I
under
even had
is
that wrong.
40.
Like, never mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The over is
Yeah.
42 and a half right now, which I think is a hammering Big Ten unders there.
Dude, this is a prime Big Ten under game.
Yeah.
Hammer the under, hammer the under, hammer the under. But I'm going Iowa State.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Iowa State too. Iowa did not look impressive. I mean, their defense is what it is, but yeah, offensively they're same thing, different year. So even with a new offensive coordinator, it doesn't look like anything's changing. So roll
Mm-mm.
with Iowa State. And then we got the Kansas Missouri rivalry coming back. So we got Kansas at Missouri, who is a 6.5 point favorite. So
Mm.
go ahead, Lucas.
Um, I think my heart wants me to go with Missouri just because they're at home. I'm going Missouri. I'm gonna stick with the SEC bias here. Um, Kansas looked really good offensively in week zero. I mean, I don't know what they did this weekend. I'm sure they played some bum team and boat raced them. But yeah, I think being at Missouri is kind of the big part of a big advantage there in Como. So I'm gonna roll with the Tigers in Missouri.
Yeah, man. I think I'm with you. I really want to go Kansas. Like, I
I did,
really, really want to go Kansas right here. But I mean, I think Missouri might just be a better team. Even though Kansas has looked okay, but they haven't really played anybody. I mean, Fresno State was bad. Wagner,
yeah.
not even worth mentioning. At Missouri, big rivalry. Oh God, I want to. Nah, I'm going Missouri. But
Yeah.
I really want to go Kansas, but I'm going Missouri. And before kickoff, I might flip it. I might flip it. But put me down for the Tigers right now.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take Kansas in this one. Just haven't really seen much from Missouri yet, just because I mean they've only played their one game. I mean, obviously, like you said, Kansas hadn't really played anybody, but they've been putting up good points. They look good. Jalen Daniels looks good. I know Missouri put up 61 against Central Arkansas, but I mean that's probably the equivalent to Wagner. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Kansas is rolling right now. They're 2-0, and it's a big rivalry game where stuff happens. So I mean, I could definitely see it going either way, but I'm gonna take the Jayhawks and Leipold going in there with the upset, going
I
3 and
like
0, trying to take that Big 12 title.
it.
All right, our next one, we're going Michigan Wolverines going to Norman, Oklahoma to face the Sooners, who are a 2.5 point favorite. Who wants to
Will, you
start?
got it.
Yeah, Bryce Underwood looked okay. I mean, it was against New Mexico, but I mean, 21 to 31, 251. Not a bad start for first year guy. I mean, their running back ran all over the place again on to New Mexico, but Mateer also looked very good at Oklahoma.
Hmm.
And people are high on Oklahoma, and I'm just not high on Michigan. I don't like Sharon Moore. I don't know. He would have never got the job if it wasn't for the situation they were in. So I'm going with Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm with you, Will. The main reason I'm rolling Oklahoma here. I'm not high on either team either. I'm not near as high on Mateer as a lot of other people are, which again he might turn out to be a fine quarterback, but I think Underwood having this his start on the road, like his first true road game in Oklahoma. College game day is going to be there. It's going to be a. I know OU's not known for like crazy atmospheres at night, that kind of thing, but I think they're going to get up for this game. Um, it's a ranked matchup. Game day's going, and so yeah, I think Oklahoma defensively. Last year they were really good. I think they're going to be good defensively again this year. So yeah, I think it's just a tall ask for a freshman quarterback going on the road and pulling out a win. So I'm going to go Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting too because Michigan gave up 17 points in New Mexico and only scored 34 points at home. It's just
Yeah,
kind of crazy, but yeah, I'm gonna take Oklahoma as well. I mean, I think it's gonna be. I could see it being like kind of like what we saw this week, where it's a very ugly defensive battle where neither
agreed.
team's really able to get a whole lot going. Um, but I think, I think just being in Oklahoma, I think even though it's not like a big, tough environment to play in, I think it still gives them an advantage. And, like you said, Bryce Underwood having a first true road start against an SEC team, against what we said was an elite defense this year. I think that's going to be tough for him to be able to go in and take on. So I think that's what gives Oklahoma the advantage more than anything is just that defense. So I'll take the. And then our last game is Texas State going to the Alamo Dome against the UTSA Roadrunners, who are a 5-point favorite. So Lucas, go ahead.
Uh, just because I'm a Texas State grad, I'm going to go Texas State here. I think offensively they're going to spread them out. Kenny's going to throw the ball around the yard a little bit. UTSA actually looked they held their own a little bit against A&M. Right? They hung in there with them, which is a surprising thing. I think UTSA is one of the front runners to win their conference this year as well.
Hmm.
So I think the winner of this game, like it's going to kind of catapult their season and kind of get them on track to possibly make a run to maybe get that at large bid or that last group of five spot for the playoffs. So um, I'm gonna go ahead and roll Texas State. I know it's in San Antonio, but I think a lot of state fans are gonna travel to that game. So give me Texas State there.
Yeah, I hope so. Go ahead, Will.
I will be taking the UTSA Roadrunners. A&M, they did hold their own against A&M. A&M made life a little bit tough on Owen McCown. What they didn't make life tough on was Henry Jr., the running back. He ran all over him. 177 yards. Granted, 75 of that is off of one rush, but still, gashed the defense pretty bad. So not good for me on an A&M side, but. Uh, I'm gonna say Texas State's defense is probably a little bit worse than A&M, so they should probably feed him the rock about 25 to 30 times and just let him
Hey,
run after it.
Texas State held Scatabo last year to his lowest rushing total. Don't forget that.
That's true, but that was last year.
Yeah, I
So
know for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and ride with UTSA in this one.
Yeah, I'm torn on this one because like I watched the Texas State game and like their offense looked really good. Like Lincoln Perry, he came back from last year, had 176 yards rushing. I know it was against Eastern Michigan, but I mean the dude was good. He looked good against North Texas too in the bowl game last year. Um, They threw the ball well. Brad Jackson, brand new guy. Oh, the biggest thing is they gave 140 rushing yards to Eastern Michigan, which I think is a tough part. And they gave quite a bit of passing yards as well. So, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I feel like UTSA has the advantage here just because of their rushing game. Um, that and I know it's a huge rivalry, but I also wonder how much Texas State might be looking ahead to that Arizona State game the week after, because
Yeah,
it's kind of like still have that bad taste in your mouth, and because I mean, especially for Texas State, like if you want any chance of being considered for a spot, like you gotta win this one, and then you gotta try to win the next one. But if you lose both, I mean that kind of knocks you down. But
yeah,
um, I think UTSA. I mean, everything I saw from them yesterday, I thought they actually looked pretty solid. I know a lot of people are very high on Owen McCown just being a solid quarterback this year. So I think UTSA. I think they're going to be pretty good. So I'm gonna have to take UTSA in that one. But like Lucas with Clemson and LSU, I hope I'm wrong. So
yeah.
You'd always much rather your takes be wrong if it means success for for your teams.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
if I would have picked LSU last week for the pick 'em, LSU would have lost for sure.
yeah, probably. It's just how it
That's how it
goes.
works.
Yep. All right. Well, there's our 5 games. There's our college football wrap with a touch of NFL as well. All football. So Astros are still holding a 2-game lead, but it's been very ugly. So we won't get into
Somehow.
that too much. So well, that's because the Mariners are playing just as bad right now. So
Yeah, I know.
so but yeah, so
But
we'll see, man.
podcasts are probably going to be like this for the next probably 16 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that
Yep. Wouldn't rather any other way.
for sure.
All right. Well, that's all I got, guys. So
That's it.
all right. Well, we appreciate y'all watching. Continue to like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Uh, share our videos to everyone you see. Follow us on TikTok. We started posting a lot more on there, so follow that. It's always good content, always great comments that we get from all the fans. Always enjoy all that. So just watch those. Send your likes, share them out, tell the world. But other than that, we'll see you next week.
See ya.